it's Haley, and today is Bookmas Day 9, and we're going to be talking about the prettiest book covers of 2019. This is always one of my favorite videos to do every year, and I almost didn't do this video because I think you guys hate when I talk about book covers because so many of you disagree with me. I apparently have very different opinions than everyone. I don't know what else is new, but I love a good book cover. I love looking at pretty things. I'm a very visual person, so when a book has a beautiful cover, it makes me that much more interested in it. Even though I know it's the content that counts, it's what's inside that counts, I can't help but judge a book by its cover. It's terrible, but hey, what else is new? I'm just terrible. But my bed is currently covered in books with beautiful covers. Covered in books with covers. Yeah, okay. I ruined it, but it was funny for a second. I mostly focused on books that I own for this video just because it was easier that way, but I do have a couple of honorable mentions that I don't own. One of them being Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. This is a beautiful cover. I love the new covers that they have done for this series. The next one is The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi. I actually did own this book, but then I unhauled it because I DNF'd it, but the cover is gorgeous. Next is Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan. This illustration, I love an illustrated cover, and the color scheme for this one is beautiful. Similar color scheme for Stain by A.G. Howard. This is also a beautiful cover and a book that I might read eventually and own eventually. She has really good luck with covers. They are gorgeous. And finally is a book that I don't own because it's not out yet, and that is Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. Once again, this series has such amazing covers, and this second one is just as gorgeous as the first. Oh, they are amazing. But now getting into the books that I actually own, keep in mind this list is entirely subjective because it's literally just me being very superficial and talking about pretty things. So first is probably my favorite cover of the year, although there have been a lot of good covers this year, so I don't know if it's my #1 favorite, but I do really love it, and that is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. So I have the Owl Crate edition, which is purple, and then the original edition, and either way, it is gorgeous. I'm going to try and stop saying gorgeous because I've already said it like 6 times now, but there's only so many ways I can describe things to say they're pretty. I believe this cover is illustrated by Charlie Bowder. Let me make sure. Yes. She also did this author's other book, which is just as amazing and beautiful, and she has amazing illustrations, and I can only dream to have a cover designed by her one day. Next is The Cold Is in Her Bones by Nell van Arsdale. Once again, this is a beautiful illustrated cover. This is illustrated by Miranda Meeks, and I love the soft muted color tones of this, and just like the way it catches the light is also really cool. Next is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I just love this skull made out of, it's almost like fleur-de-lis. I know it's not, but it gives me those sort of vibes, and every time I look at it I see something different, like there's a key and everything. It just is very fascinating and keeps my attention. Next is Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren. There is something about celestial things that I really love, so this cover is always going to be a win in my books. We have the beautiful gold moon, which is very shiny, and the stars everywhere, and then them sitting at the base of the moon. I think it's really cute. Next is Romanov by Nadine Brands. I love the gold and the red and the black and the white. I think that sticking to those colors makes this cover that much more beautiful, and the design of it is just so pleasing, and especially the way it catches the light. I love it. Next is Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. This cover is just cute. I really love the redesign that they did with this series. I think it was a great choice, and this just tells me everything I need to know about the story without saying a lot, which I think is the mark of a good cover. I will say it does feel kind of weird to include this book on this list because so many people say that it looks like me, but I think that it's just I have a generic face because you guys say a lot of book covers look like me. I don't know. Next is The Babysitter's Coven by Kate Williams. This color scheme is what makes me happy. It once again is a cover that tells me everything I need to know, but it isn't in your face. It tells me that I'm going to be getting a witchy sort of story, but also a sweet sort of high school story at the same time, if that makes sense. I just feel like it's the perfect cover for this book. Next is Nocturna by Maya Moitain. Oh my goodness, I love this cover, especially in the red, which is what it originally comes in. This is the Fairy Loot special edition, but even so, this is beautiful. It reminds me of Barcelona and Gaudi's architecture because it's like the tiles and everything. I just think that it's perfect. Next is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I think that the cover is what captured a lot of people's attention with this book, and it's for good reason because it's really striking and eye-catching. This is kind of an eerie and gross book, and the cover matches that perfectly. Next is The Criers War by Nina Varela. Just look at the way this catches the light. Like, oh my goodness, it's captivating. I cannot stop staring at it, to be honest. And that's why I love this cover, is the physical version of it and the way it catches the light. It's amazing. Next is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is another just cute and sweet cover that tells me what I need to know. We've got a little toucan man. Like, I know that this is going to be a tropical sort of story, and I know it's going to be a romance because there's little hearts and everything like confetti, which makes me think of weddings and honeymoon. It all is perfect. Next is Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. The cover is what drew me to this book in the first place, to be honest, and I haven't gotten the chance to read it yet, so I don't know if it lives up to its cover design, but the cover design is definitely beautiful, as well as the spine. It's really cool. Next is The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. Once again, a book that the cover made me interested in. And if this book is even half as lovely as the cover is, we would be in business. I do kind of wish that it wasn't the glossy material and like this was actually matte and like shining. I don't know how to describe that, but I am still happy with this cover nonetheless. Very, very happy. Next is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This is a book that drew me in with its synopsis and tagline, and then the cover was the icing on top of the cake. Oh, it is so beautiful, and I love that it's like magical, and this is about a tailor, so I like the fact that she has scissors and thread and she's wielding it like a sword. You can tell it was just a very well thought out cover. Next is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is like the ultimate cover of this year. It is so beautiful and just makes me happy, and it especially makes me happy because I have to undress it. Oh my goodness! Like, I had an arc of this and I had to buy the finished copy because of this. Everything about this book is a work of art and it's just amazing. Like, look at those colors. Oh, I'm obsessed. Next is This Time Will Be Different by Mesa Guerra. This is an undeniably beautiful cover. The color scheme is something I don't think I've ever really seen before, the yellow and this kind of salmon color, and it works very well together, and I love the flowers because it is set in a florist shop, so it is just perfect. Next is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love the purple, obviously. That is a guilty pleasure of mine, but I think this is just a really beautiful sci-fi cover. Next is The Candle in the Flame by Nafisa Azad. This is a cover that draws you in with the girl and just makes you want to know more about it and more about this character that it's illustrating. Next is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Once again, a beautiful illustrated cover. I am a sucker for that. And it makes me think of the journey that is yet to come in this book, and I want to know more about it, which is once again the mark of a good cover. Next is Enchantée by Gita Trellis. This is a very French cover. It makes me think of Les Mis, and I don't remember if this book was a Les Mis retelling. No, this one isn't a Les Mis retelling. It's just set at the time of the French Revolution in France. But either way, it is a gorgeous cover, even though it's very annoying for me to shelve on my rainbow bookshelves for obvious reasons. Next is Sky Without Stars by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell. This is the Les Mis retelling, so you get what this book is from this cover once again. You get that it's a space sci-fi story that also has to do with Paris, so well done. And finally is There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole. I get kind of Star Wars vibes from this cover, which is weird because I don't know anything about Star Wars, but I don't know, it makes me think of it. But I like the limited color scheme that they used for it, and the reflective red in the illustrations I think just goes very well together. So those are all the books that I think had the most beautiful covers of the year. I know that there's probably some that you guys are going to be like, why isn't this on this list? But that is because I don't think it's the prettiest. I have very specific taste when it comes to covers. I love the colors and I love illustrations, and I don't know. I can't describe it. But please do let me know what your favorite cover was on a book that was published in 2019. I would love to know. And if you enjoyed today's Bookmas video, don't forget to click that subscribe button and then click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post. I'm posting 21 videos over the course of December, so you don't want to miss any of those. You can also follow me on all of my social media, all of my handles, and all that stuff is down below for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!